This is Greg at Best Choice Trailers. I'm going to take you for a walk today around one of Trac's heavy-duty, low-profile Beavertail Deckovers. We're making an update today as there was a few changes to this model at the beginning of the model year. One of the most notable model year differences is they're all pierce frame now. I'll get to what that means in a second, but basically you can quickly identify a trailer as being pierce frame if you can see the top of the I-beam. So all Trac heavy-duty Beavertail Deckovers are going to come equipped with a 12-inch I-beam mainframe. Notice it comes with a single jack. I'd highly recommend a 2-speed jack or an optional dual jack if you're doing real heavy equipment. A heavy-duty front nose plate with either a pintle or ball coupler standard. Got your safety chains, sealed wiring harness, breakaway kit. Up front on the face of the jack you'll see a spare tire mount standard. Notice they put a gusset on the top and bottom of the beams. One thing we like about Trac is there's plenty of tie down points. You've got 8 D-rings, stake pockets on roughly 2-foot centers. You've got chain spools for tying down, and then of course you've also got the rub rail going the length of the trailer. This particular trailer is equipped with optional oak decking. I'd highly recommend the oak deck on their trailers. It's fairly economical, gives you a nice hard surface. Underneath the trailer, a few of the things that we like. You'll notice the cross members pierce through the frame, hence the name pierce frame. So that's one of the big things that I was saying was different for this year. That lowers your deck height down by about 4.5 inches. The height of the cross member, which is about 3, and then the decking. You'll also notice roughly every second cross member, Trac puts an extra gusset, an outrigger gusset, so they're gusseting to the outer frame there to give strength. You also notice Trac bracing underneath the trailer. They put that underneath the I-beam mainframe and also under the cross members, which are 16-inch on center. They do that for a lot of strength. They do that in lieu of a torque tube, which some manufacturers use. The only downside to a torque tube is it is fairly substantially heavier and ties in a lot less places. Benefit to the Trac bracing is you can keep your weight down but also gain more strength than a torque tube. So that's your Trac bracing. Again, more tie downs going back the trailer. You can also notice a pierce frame trailer because generally it's going to have your tread plate over your wheel wells. This particular trailer is upgraded to 12K axles. Anything 8K axles and up is all going to be an oil bath bearing. Trac uses a Westlake tire. It's a radial 235/80 R16 10 ply. Slipper spring suspension's also standard. Coming back to the rear of the trailer, one thing that we like, they use a channel outer rail going the whole way back, and then whenever you get to the Beavertail, this is all going to be a tube. The reason they do that, tube resists torsional twisting. So it's a good idea to put tube in the back Beavertail. You also notice the back light bar is made out of box tube as well instead of channel or formed. That gives strength when loading, but also it protects your wiring. A couple things we like about the back end of the particular trailer would be, one, this often gets missed, or a lot of people don't notice or pick up, but that notch there is pretty important because whenever the ramp comes down, now this ramp's not exactly on level ground, but when that ramp comes down, it keeps the back end of the trailer from squatting and jerking whenever you're loading. So it's going to come down an inch or two, and then it's going to hit your, what I'll call a rear stabilizer here. It's going to keep you from bouncing around. Also notice the rear ramp is spring assisted. Another nice feature, if you want to level the back 5 foot of the dovetail out, you can put 4x4s with a piece of plywood in there, and you can make a, what I'll call poor man's self-cleaning pop-up dovetail, so to speak. You also notice the weep holes in the end of the ramp treads. It's kind of handy, keeps you from getting a bath whenever you need to use your trailer. Notice the treads on the self-cleaning dovetail were made out of 3x3 angle instead of 2x2 angle. You got a little bit less chance of getting a foot caught in there. 5-foot Beavertail, 5-foot ramp standard. That combined with a 32-inch deck height give you a very, very low load angle. Ideal for loading most any equipment. That particular angle you can also even load most cars. This shown's a 23+5 with the optional 12K axles. Standard on most of our heavy-duty Beavertail Deckovers would be the 10,000-pound axles. GVW on the 10K axles is going to be 22.5. Empty weights are going to be around 6,000 pounds. It's going to give you about 16.5 on payload. That figure does not count your tongue weight. One nice feature Short Trac's going to be bringing back here for this year is going to be undercoating. They used to undercoat, made their trailer very durable on the underside. They're going to be bringing that back again this year. That's one major difference I see between them and most manufacturers. A lot of manufacturers now are forced to powder coat, and as many people are aware, a lot of times powder coat, if not prepped properly, will chip off in big flakes, whereas the undercoating seems to be a lot more durable. If you have any questions about this trailer or any of our other trailers, please give us a ring at 717-220-4220, or you can visit us on the web at bestchoicetrailers.com.